There's a kitty. And finally, first of the late season figs is starting to get ripe. Nice. All right. High rep buys and tries. High rep, low weight. Build up the joint. Put them in positions I'm not used to having them in. Just pump a lot of blood through there. We should really build up all those tendons and cartilage and ligaments. Really hard to maintain that form and positioning. It makes my elbow pop. I'm trying to do that every single time just as a cue to hit that elbow in the range of motion. It, kind of aggravates it slightly. And to trigger that process, it's more difficult maintaining form than actually lifting the weight. Because, 45 pounds, I can throw that around like nothing. But keeping it in the right position, very, very unaccustomed to that. All right. So this time, another set. Gonna try to get even higher reps. can get a good pump in my right tricep. I can't get a good pump in my left tricep. So, the more I work that, the better it'll get. Alright, that's about all the elbow can handle. Would do more, but joint's starting to kind of start screaming at me a little bit, so that's about the signal to stop. Alright. Just because a joint or a tendon or a ligament is weak in one direction or one position doesn't mean it's weak in all the others. So now I'll just do some regular curls and tricep extensions just to make sure my muscles don't degenerate. Yeah, even though I'm pre-fatigued a little bit, able to get a good pump in them, and zero negative feelings in the joint from doing those curl bar curls, just because I'm used to that position. Everything's strong in that position with soft tissues, but in an extremely pronated position or an extremely supinated position, those still need work. Alright, tricep extensions. your arm circles in this direction, in this direction. Helps your front deltoid elevate the elbow. Then your internal rotators to expose the side deltoid to some tension so you can overload it a little bit more. Yeah, when you get to the point where you can't really consciously lift your arms, you've worked the deltoids good. So yeah, around rep 17, started getting shaky. That's my slow twitch fibers starting to get exhausted. Your slow twitch fibers are good for very precise coordination. By the way, that's a great drill to do with your non-dominant hand to increase the hand-eye coordination of your non-dominant hand. That little thing right there. But fast twitch fibers, those are the herky-jerky ones, the one for big, powerful movements. Yeah, now I'm going to start off with 25s, do some, standard form. That involves shrugging the trapezius muscle up in order to get more activation in the deltoid. I'll switch over to 10s and 2.5, 12.5 pounds. Very strict version. Then I'll drop the 2.5s off, do 10s strict. Then I'll drop the 10s off, grab the 2.5s, do a bunch of them strict until I can't really move them around. Then do arm circles in order to just crank out just a little bit more. Consciously contracting the deltoid is more difficult than consciously contracting the pectoral. You do bench press or pull-ups, you gain the ability to make your pec stance pretty easy, but consciously contracting the deltoid, next to impossible, unless you put in a lot of work. So I'm glad I'm finally there, and I can actually do proper strict form laterals. A lot of people make the mistake, they try to do strict form on laterals, not using their trapezius muscle to pull their shoulder up, and they can't really move their arm in that direction because they're so used to not putting their arms up above their head. Best thing to do is to just get the hands high, well, elbows high, however you can at the beginning. And then if you've put in a few years of work, then you can gain the ability to just purely contract the deltoid, which is still not the ultimate way to grow, but it is a different way to grow than just, you know, purely, raising your arms with whatever muscle you can. So it's good to do if you're used to, using this type of form where you're shrugging your shoulders up and you're using your deltoids too. It's good to switch over to pure deltoid contractions for a while in order to pump them up in a different way, trigger a new batch of growth.